Good morning. Thank you for checking out the channel. This is Chris at Foundry Engraving. So I posted a video of the uncrating, the chiller, and the exhaust setup. I know I talked about it in those videos about the riser. As you can tell, I mean, I'm not super tall. I'm just under 6 feet, but bending over every time to get down in here isn't gonna be good for the back. So my goal on this is just to bring this up enough to where it's a little bit more comfortable for my back to get in and out. One thing though, I want to make sure I do as well is I want to make sure it's movable. I don't want to just build a platform, leave it there, and then I have to call someone every time I have to move this because this is over 400 pounds. So what I found and ordered are these casters, but they also level. So this means I can level the platform it's on, and then with the machine, use the feet on the machine to level the gantry. So the biggest thing is you want to make sure your gantry's level within the machine. So every machine's built a little different, so they all should be square, but maybe one part of it isn't square, so you have to kind of have it at a different angle to make sure it's square. So because of that, I'm gonna make sure first that I can move, but also that the platform doesn't just roll around on me, but also then I can just level this from the feet. So my goal is to bring it up probably about 15 to 18 inches, including the height of the wheels. So this machine is, without counting where the tube comes out, I'm looking at 48 by about 35. So I'm gonna go 36 by 48. It's like 47, but so 4 feet by 3 feet. So that way I have a little bit of clearance on the sides to bring it up. So it'll be good. I'm not gonna film the whole time. I'm gonna film a couple parts of it. So that way you're not just sitting there watching me put it together for an hour. But I have 4x4s for the legs, 2x4s for the structural framing, as well as reinforcements. Like I said, this is 400 pounds. So I want to make sure that there's plenty to the base to hold this machine. Especially when it's moving, I want it to be very stable. The other part is on top. I'm gonna get a little fancy. I'm gonna try something cool. Hopefully it works. So we will see. But more next part, you'll see the rest. Thank you. Checking back in. So I got the two 48-inch pieces done, and I got my 18-inch legs completed. And I have it upside down because I was going to show. I'm trying to make the overall table size 48 by 36 or riser size. So knowing that my 2x4s on each side are 1.5 inches, the depth piece is actually only going to be 33 inches. So that way, 33 inches plus the two 2x4s of 48 on the ends, that will make it 36. So that way, overall footprint at the top is 48 by 36. Checking back in. So I have this screwed together. So I screwed the front to the side, and then I screwed also from the sides to the 4x4 and the front to the 4x4. With my machine, the 4 feet on it, the feet in the front, which when I flip this over, that's gonna be the front. I know the feet are 6.5 inches from the front, and then in the back, they're 1.5 inches from the back. So the feet really will be sitting on right on the 4x4s in the very back, but they won't be sitting on the 4x4s in the front. They'll be like right at the back of it. So part of what I'm going to do is reinforce with another 2x4 up there, and I'm going to go ahead and do one back here to frame it out a little bit more and add a little bit more stability to that part of it. So I'm gonna drop another 48-inch 2x4 in between, or actually it'll be slightly shorter, another 2x4 in between these two, just so that way it helps reinforce where the weight of the feet are at the top. All right, checking back in. So I've reinforced the inside, so that way 6.5 inches back from the front is a front foot, so that should be resting on that joint, and the back one should be on the 4x4. So to me, you know, and this is all screwed together multiple ways, so that way to me this is should be a very stable top. Next thing I do is I will add some support to the bottom as well, just, you know, for when it rolls around, things like that, to keep that square. But other than that, once we get done with that, we'll flip it over for the top. All right, so I got the base of the foundation done. I added a couple additional supports right here, so that way when I put the top on, it should fully support it for where the main weight of the feet are. So I'm about to mount the casters down here and then flip it over to do the top. So far so good. Looking forward to getting the machine up on it, but I'm gonna have to wait to get some support on that, because, you know, I used to lift heavy, but not that heavy. All right, so I got the casters installed with the base. It's a little windy here in Florida, and it took out my phone holder tripod over there that I've been using. So I have to buy a new one of those pretty quickly, but I'm using the one that I was filming my machines with for now. So I'll flip this over, and yeah, it's actually decently heavy, but let's see. Awesome, that actually rolls pretty smoothly. Pretty excited to see how it works, level it out in the shop. But next part is I'm gonna be cutting some 1x6s for the top, as well as gonna try to be a little cool with something for another part of that. So check back in a minute with you. All right, so I got my 1x6s up top. I had a little gap in the center. Didn't really feel like trying to cut another one and then cut it again, so I just left it there. Most of the weight's gonna be, and where I really want the top is in the back on both sides. I did add one more 2x4 in the dead center to screw these two. Some of them were not the best pieces of wood after being out on my patio for a couple days with how the weather's been. So that way at least it's minimize any bowing. But yeah, I mean, it's good to go right now, but I'm gonna add a little bit of flavor to it. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do in 1 minute. So it's all done with my little bit of addition to it. My wife made a comment about, can I just return some of the wood and use the crate to build it? And I said no, but I already had kind of thought for some of the crate. So wanted to kind of be my first larger machine that I decrated in my first video. I thought I'd keep the crate, or part of the crate. So pulled the OMTech and the beam of possibilities to add underneath the machine, just so that way something funny to look back to when I look at those bloopers in the future to laugh about. But thank you for checking out the video. If you got any questions on this, let me know. Now I'm just waiting for someone else with a strong back to help me lift the machine up and put it on the table, so that way I can go into the next phase and run my first job on it. Thank you.